So, Boro's new kit has dropped. So, is it as good as it looks? How does it wear? How does it fit? Let's talk about it. So, today I went to Boro's club shop, the official opening for this season, and got the new Boro shirt. Well, I didn't. Liv went and got hers. I stupidly got mine delivered for some reason. I don't know why I did that. I don't know if it's because I expected it to be delivered earlier, but nevertheless, I had to wait for the postman to arrive, and he arrived early enough. So my shirt was delivered a bit earlier. We then went to the club shop to collect hers and had a good look at not only Boro's new shirt, but a lot of the new Castor merchandise as well. And even though I tried my absolute utmost to not go into the shop and spend more money than I wanted, I did. So we'll take a little look at some of the additional Castor merch later, but let's talk about the shirt. Now, you guys already know from a video I did previously, I'm a huge fan of this year's Boro kit, and I think Castor have done an outstanding job. And the biggest thing, and I guess the biggest compliment I can give to this shirt is it's a Boro shirt. And that might sound stupid, that might sound simplistic, but when you just look at this shirt, it looks like what a Boro shirt should look like. You know, in the past, we've had the band on plenty of shirts, and it's looked okay, but it's not felt Boro. It's felt a bit templated. This feels like it's bespokely made specifically to be a shirt for Middlesbrough Football Club, and that's why I really like it. The one thing that struck me a lot in a lot of the pictures I've seen today, I've seen a lot of people going to the shop, putting their pictures online. The tone of red, I think, is a beautiful tone of red. I think it's not too dark, but it's dark enough. It's really striking. It contrasts really well with the white as well. It just seems like it's a bit more of a striking red than usual. And of course, the big addition, which I was thrilled by when I saw it at the kit reveal, is the pattern in the background of the shirt, which we thought were stripes initially. Of course, they're not. They are a pattern of the Ayresome Park gates, which is a lovely touch, not only again to make it feel more bespoke and more specific to being a Boro shirt, it's also adds a really nice bit of depth to the shirt as well. Something I actually asked for on last season's shirt, which obviously they didn't have. It was just a solid red. Although it was smart, I like the addition of a pattern. It just gives the Boro shirt a bit more depth, a bit more life. And the fact that it is the pattern of the Ayresome Park gates as well just makes it feel like it has that little bit of history, that little bit of heritage to the shirt. It's a nice little touch. Not all fans will be that bothered, but I think some fans will really like it. On top of that, of course, we've got the band. Now, again, really like the band on this year's shirt. I get there's some fans who are a little bit fussy on the band. Sometimes they want it, sometimes they want rid of it. I don't mind having a break from the band every few seasons, but personally, if we can have the band on the Boro shirt and make it look different and unique, I'm all for it. And people get bored of the band, but I think, you can do a lot with it. I think what Castor have done with it this year is really nice. It's not too tall, it's not too thick. We've had some really thick bands in the past. I think it works just well enough. And I think the reason for that is the Unibet sponsor doesn't ruin it as much as it has other shirts in the past. Now, I'm still not a big fan of the Unibet sponsor. The only thing I like about it is that it adds a bit of black to the shirt, and I'm always for adding a bit of black to any shirt, especially one that's red and white. But it's just, the sponsor's a bit too narrow, a bit too square, doesn't fill up the width of the band, but it's not too bad on this shirt. I don't know what it is, but it doesn't look like it's that much out of place as it has done in the past. So they've done a decent job, I'd say, with the Unibet sponsor. It is the last year, by the way, of the Unibet sponsor, but we'll have to have a different sponsor next season because they're scrapping all the betting sponsors. I think in the Championship, don't know about the Premier League as well. But yeah, I think it works well, and they have added a subtle touch of white above and below the band, which I think is a really nice touch. The little white strokes up above and below just gives a little extra subtle detail. It's not much, but it's enough to just make this band feel and look unique. As well as that, I like what they've done with the Boro badge. It's got like a white border around it, which just makes it stand out again that little bit more, but it's not massively in your face. It's not screaming at you when you're looking at the shirt. So a bit like with the band, nice little subtle touch of white around the badge. I think it just adds that little bit extra. That's what I really like about Castor. They add tiny little details that you might not notice that I do think make a difference. And of course, a bit of a Castor staple, the big, thick white collar that they've matched up on the sleeves as well, which is a nice little bit of continuity and symmetry. There's no sponsor on the right sleeve. There is one at the top at the back of the shirt. Don't know how that will work with the names on the back. Be interesting to see what they do there. But of course, one of the nicest additions, again, a nice little touch, is the MFC badge at the top with a little pattern above and below the Ayers and Park gates. Again, really, really good stuff from Castor. There is a Telcos sponsor on the left sleeve. Don't know what that's for. Don't know what it means. Doesn't take all that much away from the shirt. So overall, it's, I still think, one of the best looking Boro shirts we've had probably since we were relegated. But how does it feel? And were there any issues when it came to the quality? Of course, one of the big question marks, and I still think it will remain a question mark, is Castor's quality. Now, in terms of how the shirt fits, no complaints from me. I want to size up, which I think a lot of people have done. They're a little bit tight fitting, not as tight fitting as what Hummels were, but yeah, one size up, it's perfect. It fits really nice for me. As for women's, Liv did try and get a women's sized shirt. They obviously have their own range now. Didn't think the women's fit as well as what the men's do. So she's went with a men's shirt instead of a women's. So I don't know if the fit with the women's shirt is a little bit off with some people, not too sure. But for me, this has fit really well. So I've gone with the size up. I think that was the sensible thing to do. And it feels nice. It feels comfortable. I would say it's a thinner shirt than normal. It feels a bit lighter, a little bit thinner. Now, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing because it feels lighter and thinner and more airy, you feel better wearing it. You know, it doesn't feel like it's the sort of shirt you would sweat in. It feels like it could be comfortable to go if you went and played football, five-a-side or something, for example. So it's a comfortable, light shirt. You don't even feel like you're wearing it. But I do wonder, at the same time, will that lightness mean that if it gets pulled on, if you're playing five-a-side, or if you catch it on something as you're walking past a door handle or whatever it might be, will it tear? Will it rip? That is a bit of a worry. And I do feel like maybe it's just down to Castor, maybe it's their reputation, maybe it's just with the shirt and it's new and everything. I don't know. But I do feel extremely paranoid about wearing this shirt already. What I'm doing with it, where I'm walking with it, what if I catch it on something? Because it's light, it does feel like the sort of shirt that could rip and tear. Now, I'm not saying it will. The material might be a lot more durable than what it feels like. I don't know, but that is just something I'm going to be doing just because I'm cautious. And I guess because it's a new shirt, you want to be cautious as well. So overall, it feels nice. It feels comfortable. But I would say be wary because it does feel like the sort of light shirt that if it does get caught on something, it could easily get damaged. Now, when it did come, and you won't be able to see it now because I've cut it off, there were a couple of issues with the fabric. I couldn't find any others on the sleeve, the band, anywhere else. There was a tiny little bit, and I'll put a picture on screen. There was a huge bit of fabric hanging off the very front of the V-neck collar. So that was a little bit of a thing. I didn't want to catch that because if I pulled that, it would have clipped completely. So I've cut that off. There was also a tiny bit at the back, little bit of red fabric that was sticking out. I don't think that's anything major, to be honest. I think that will happen on all shirts, to be fair. So there was one or two tiny little things that I was a bit like, oh God, I better cut that off, make sure I don't catch that or anything. So I would search your Boro shirts when you get them. Make sure there's no little bits of fabric hanging off because if you miss them, you catch them on something, you accidentally pull on it, it could pull on the fabric and it could click. So quality, yeah, I wouldn't say it's 100%, but I never expected it to be. I was more bothered about how it looks, and for me, as I said, it's one of the best looking Boro shirts we've had in a long time. So after we got the shirts, we went into the club shop, and to be honest, they've done a really good job with the club shop. I should have got pictures inside, I didn't. I got a picture outside, but they seem to have made the club shop a bit more open. It's like a much more open experience. It doesn't feel as cluttered with, I guess, merchandise everywhere. The front of the shop is still completely bare, so there's still more room to put stuff in, which is really cool. But they had plenty of shirts. Looked like the stock levels were pretty decent. They had TVs up as well, displaying the merch with the Boro women and Boro men's team, showing off some of the Castor stuff. So yeah, in terms of how they've revamped the shop, I think they've done a good job. Where they used to have the printing area, they've now got a nice, cool I don't say play area for the kids, but it's like a grassy area. It's dressed up like a pitch or a locker room or a changing room with a little football table in there, which was really cool as well, with a nice cabinet of some Boro memorabilia in. And even though I said I would not buy any more stuff, I knew the second we were announced with Castor, I would end up buying more stuff because I love their design. So I did get one of the training tops that the coaching staff are wearing. I went and got the grey shirt. This is beautiful, by the way. And again, what I will say, the generic sportswear stuff feels like it's made of slightly different material to the kits. They feel a bit thicker. I don't know if that's true or not. Could just be a feeling, but they feel a bit thicker, a little bit more durable, a bit more, I don't want to say comfortable, but you can feel you wearing them, whereas the kit feels a lot lighter. But yeah, this is a really, really nice training shirt. I wasn't going to get it at first because the only one thing I did want to get, and I was adamant I was going to buy this the second I saw David Wheater wearing it at the Meet the Staff event a few weeks ago. Nothing was stopping me from getting the grey Castor jogging bottoms. And it was only when I got them, I saw the grey shirt went with it. I then went and got the grey shirt. Shouldn't have done that. For me, the quality of these feel amazing. Genuinely, they feel like silk. They feel beautiful to wear. Really, really nice, really, really comfortable, and a good fit as well. I went with a normal size and they fit perfectly well, but these are in grey and they're in black. I wanted to get both. I didn't, but the grey ones are really, really nice. So them joggers are beautiful, as is, as I said, the shirt that the staff are wearing. It's a beautiful, beautiful light grey. I don't think the sponsors on it, which I'm kind of glad about because obviously the sponsor was white, so you couldn't see it anywhere. So I'm kind of glad 32 Red is not on this, and it is just a light grey shirt with the Castor and Boro badges on. Like it, really like the colour. I think it's a really smart colour. The white on the badges just stands out enough, so it's subtle and smart. And I like the pattern on the sleeves as well. Not too sure what pattern that is, but it's really, really nice. And they've done something similar with the green player training gear, which undoubtedly will come back to milk my bank account further. So yeah, that's the new Boro shirt. Well, we'll see how it washes. We'll see how long it lasts. I'm sure only time will tell on whether Castor have absolutely nailed this shirt completely. It might wash terribly, it might click, things might start falling off it, we don't know. But at least from a look point of view, I'd give it a 10 out of 10, genuinely. And a quality and feel, yeah, I can't complain too much. There's a few bits of fabric hanging off here and there, but it's a football shirt. I'm not too bothered. I just hope that I can get a good amount of wears out of it. I don't have to worry about wearing it, and it will last me a hell of a long time. But let me know your thoughts on Boro's new kit in the comments. If you went out and bought it, if you've got any of the other Castor gear as well. And it feels like the season truly is here now with the new shirts here. It feels great to be able to wear it. So I hope you guys got yours too, and I hope you like the shirt you got as well. But other than that, like the video, subscribe for much more Boro content to come between now and the start of the season. Hopefully we've got some signings to come too. But until next time, guys, do take care, and I'll see you all in the next one.